Hello, my name is Jennifer Clarke and I work with my mom Elke Clarke, mentoring and coaching creative entrepreneurs on how to make money online. And today's tutorial is going to be about insights on the new department tree that Zazzle introduced recently. If you haven't checked out the tutorial that I did 2 weeks ago and read the blog post that I did on elkeclarke.com about the new department tree and an introduction to it, please check that out before you watch this video, because this is a little bit more on the back end and is the second part to that tutorial. But I'm really excited to share this information with you because the new department tree on Zazzle is a huge overhaul that really benefits designers and really benefits customers. For designers, it allows you to hone in on the very specific category and department where you want to put your product. And for customers, it helps customers find their products much more easily with the search tool on the Zazzle platform. And this is an amazing overhaul because it is now more about design-based rather than product-based. Previously, products were put into certain departments based on the physical product rather than the design or the use that that product had. And if you watched that tutorial previously that I did 2 weeks ago, you'll realize that I did an example using a save the date coaster. And the save the date coaster actually has its own department, and it is put underneath the save the dates and invitations department underneath the wedding section. And previously, you wouldn't actually realize that that would go there because a coaster usually goes underneath the homeware and kitchenware section and department rather than underneath the invitation. But Zazzle has realized that designers are becoming much more creative with their designs and much more inventive with their designs, that they need to have certain departments that fit that specific category of product and use for that product. And you'll understand a little bit more if you've watched the previous tutorial, but basically now you can use products on Zazzle and use them in so many different creative ways that the departments that Zazzle is creating are specific for those products. So when a customer comes to Zazzle and says, I want to buy a save the date coaster to send a keepsake to my wedding guests, then they're able to go to the save the date section and specifically look underneath the coaster section to find a save the date coaster. They don't have to scroll through thousands of products underneath the kitchen and homeware section looking for a specific invitation or save the date design. So if you understand that, then you'll understand how the new department tree works. And in this tutorial, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth in terms of showing you as a designer how you can really hone in and put your product in the right department, and also how, if you don't think that there's a specific department that fits your product, you can suggest a department to Zazzle. And also I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of background research and realize what departments are out there so that you as a designer can start to think of really creative designs that you can put on specific products. And I'll show you and I'll tell you a little bit about that when we get to the screen share part of this tutorial. So I really hope that you understand. It's a little bit complicated, I know, but it's very exciting and it's a huge overhaul, and it's an amazing opportunity for designers and for customers too, so that both of them can work together so that our products as designers on Zazzle can be found much more easily by customers who come to Zazzle. So let's get right into the tutorial. I'm really excited, and yes, hopefully this will give you a little bit more insight on the back end part of the department tree and not just an introduction. So I'll show you how you can really do some research and figure out what kind of designs you can start making in terms of what niche you're in. I do want to mention though that the department tree is in the works. They're still integrating everything and still creating new departments. The department that is the most sort of categorized and defined is the wedding department right now. But when you go in and you look at the departments, you can see how many levels you can really bump down into and hone in to where your product should go to. If you're not designing in weddings right now, don't worry. It doesn't, that doesn't affect you. I was going to say that you can always, use the suggested department trees, or you can browse all the departments. But I want to say that in terms of designing for weddings, they have many more options at this point. But as I said, Zazzle is still working on integrating everything and creating new departments so that all of the departments are covered and they're all very specific for products that are being made. I also wanted to say that your previous designs that you've made in the past have been transferred over, or they are being transferred over to the new department tree. I wouldn't suggest going through all of your products if you have thousands of products in your store to make sure that they're in the right department. I would go to your most popular or your most sold products first and check them to make sure that they're in the right department tree. If they're not, I will show you how to do that, and I will show you how to change that. As well, I will show you how when you start to change your title, your new departments will pop up and there will be some more options for you. So for example, if you had a birthday invitation and you didn't actually specifically say 50th birthday invitation, then a department tree will pop up that says 50th birthday, because Zazzle has realized that 50th birthday invitations need their own department. So things like that that are a little bit more complicated than what I introduced in the first tutorial, but we're going to get right into it and I'm really excited. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll start the tutorial right now. Okay, so I'm on Zazzle.com, and all I've done is to create your own, and I've clicked on a normal flat invitation here. And what I'm going to do is, just for the purposes of this tutorial, add some text here. Nothing too crazy, but what I'm going to say is wedding invitation, and then I'm going to post for sale. I just want to make a product so that I can use this as a test to find out what departments are available and where I can put this invitation. So I'm going to say sell it, post for sale. And now what I wanted to show you is that based on your title, and I already spoke about this previously in the other tutorial, but based on your title, certain departments will pop up automatically based on the Zazzle algorithm that they have for their new department tree. So when I say, let's say modern wedding, I also want to mention that you don't have to put in the name of the product. So for example, an invitation or a mug or a poster, what you do, just put the title in, and you want to use the most descriptive words possible that you can so that you can get them in the right department. So if it's a wedding invitation, use the word wedding. If it's a save the date, use the word save the date. If it's a baby announcement, use the word baby announcement. Things like that, that really help the Zazzle algorithm work, because right now, if I just said invitation, the Zazzle department tree is just going to pop up with the words or with the department invitations. It's not going to really hone in on what specific type of invitation it is. So now that I've written modern wedding in my title, I'm going to click off, and you can see that it's already populated the word invitation because it's a flat card invitation. And you can see that there are two departments that pop up. So weddings, because I have the word wedding in it, or it's also giving me the option to put it into invitations and stationery. So for this design, because I wanted to be underneath weddings, I'm going to click on weddings. And then for you, that's awesome. If this is your type of design, then that's great. If, for example, you're creating a card or a different product, it doesn't have to be an invitation, but you don't think that the suggested departments that came up from Zazzle are correct, what you can do is you can say browse all departments here. And I'm going to click on this button and I'm going to show you that it says, can't find the department you're looking for, use the list of suggested departments. So now you click on this here, and I'm going to show you that there are so many different options in terms of this. And this is really the purpose of this tutorial. It's not to show you how to put it in the right category. It's to show you that you can do some background research when creating a fake product or a test product, so that in the future, when you do create a real product, you know exactly where you can put it, or maybe using this actually gives you some inspiration on what types of products you can make. So I want to explore the wedding one just for this purposes right now, and I want to show you that because the weddings, as I said, is a little bit more populated in terms of the department options that are there for you. So what we can do is decor and party supplies. I'm going to just go through them, and I'm going to give you some suggestions on things that are not conventional products that you might think would fit underneath these categories, but because the department tree allows you to now put in different products into different sections, you can get some ideas on what products you can actually make. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so decor and party supplies. I want to show you that there's a product that I'm thinking about, which is a keepsake coaster for a wedding, that, you know, the bride and groom can do something nice and put something nice on a coaster, and they can put it underneath each cup on the wedding tables, right? So that when the guests come, they have a keepsake to take home after the wedding. So here, wedding and decor and supplies. What I'm going to do is there, decor and party supplies. Then I'm going to do decor Then look, I can do table serving and decor. Then I can even bump it down even more. And then now you can see cake stands, cake toppers, candles, coasters, mason jars, napkins, plates, table card holders. So for example, if any of these items, any of these products, you would maybe originally think that they needed to go underneath the home section and kitchen section maybe, because if you were just doing a plain design on the product, they would fit underneath that category. But because it's specific for a wedding and a wedding party, and it's a decor for a wedding, it actually goes underneath the wedding section. So when customers come and they realize that they want to have some sort of decor for their wedding, they can really, really find these things easily because they can really hone in on what department they're looking at for. They're not going to go searching through the kitchen and homeware section, trying to scroll through thousands of products to find a wedding themed coaster. They're going to go directly to the wedding department to find a wedding themed coaster. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so as I said, just play around. Go now to, let's do business or office and school. I was just looking at this before. So if you're not doing anything in terms of, you can really do a lot of things with section as well. So let's do office and school supplies. Then we're gonna go and look, you can see all of these things: awards, binders, folders, desk accessories, door signs, etc. So even if I click on desk accessories, it helps me bump down even further to go and say, okay, business card holders, desk organizers, nameplates, paperweights, pen and pencil cases. So the department tree is really amazing because it lets you, there's so many levels that you can really put your product underneath and not have it be generalized. Previously, for example, what I just spoke about right now, the wedding coaster, that wouldn't have had so many different levels that you could put that product into. Now you can really say, okay, this is where it's supposed to go. And when a customer comes, they can see that it's supposed to be in that section, the wedding coaster section underneath party and decor, rather than just being in the general wedding section. But now they can really understand that this is where the product is and this is where I can find it. So for customers, it's an amazing opportunity. And for designers, it's a great opportunity as well to start creating some amazing products where you wouldn't even really think that they would have been possible to be put into that department. And the reason why I'm showing you this is to get some inspiration for you, where you can go through the department tree and you can realize, okay, I'm going to create, keepsakes for weddings. I wanted to show you this as well. I know it's another wedding example, but the wedding one is really developed. For you as a designer, you can go through each of the departments and look down and see how far down each level goes. And I know now on Zazzle, actually on the homepage, they're using door hangers for wedding guests at their hotel rooms. And isn't that cool? Previously, no one would actually think of using door hangers as anything but something that they put in in their house for home decor. They usually used it for little kids' rooms or, or bathroom signs. But now designers are realizing that door hangers can actually be given as a gift to guests at wedding parties when they are staying at a hotel. It says, welcome to the wedding of X and X, and the date of the wedding. And then also on the back, it says, do not disturb, because it's actually a hotel door hanger. And so these are the types of products that I'm thinking of, and that I'm trying to explain to you that previously designers didn't really have the idea or the design use for something on a specific product. But now, because we're becoming so much more creative, we're using products in so many different ways rather than the original design use of the product. And so this, for example, so weddings, favors and gifts. For favors and packaging, bump it down even more. So these are all of the, things that might be given as gifts to guests at the wedding. As well, I wanted to say bridal party gifts. You can put down as well to the groomsmen or to the bridesmaids or to the parents. And then, that way you can actually really understand this gift is supposed to be for this selected person, rather than just putting it underneath the general bridal party gift section. And then also for the newlyweds, You know, you can play around and see how far each section goes, and then you can understand, okay, I want to make favors and packaging, and I really didn't understand that I could make sunglasses for the wedding party, or water bottle labels, or wine bottle labels. And you know, the example that I just gave you right now about the door hangers, that's not even on here yet. So if you can't find, or you think that there should be a department that is not on the department tree and you want to suggest it to Zazzle, I'm sure, as well as Zazzle is always looking at Zazzle to find the trends about the new products and the new design uses for those products. So maybe door hangers will be found on this section at some point soon. But if you can't find what you're looking for, then you go and you click on the other. And what you can do then is tell us a little bit about the department that we want to see here on Zazzle. So what I would suggest now, if I was going to follow through with that door hanger example, is say, okay, underneath the wedding section, underneath the favor and gift section, I want to see door hangers because I'm making a door hanger for my wedding guests when they're staying at a hotel. And then you say submit. And then hopefully Zazzle will get back to you, and maybe soon we will see a department tree level that includes door hangers underneath the wedding section. And so you can do this with any other section. I'm just specifically talking about the wedding one because that's where my niche is and what I'm familiar with. But to get inspiration, I would go, and even as a designer, if you know that your niche is weddings, I would still explore all of the other departments, because then you'll get ideas for maybe something that will fit in with your niche, or a design that you really didn't actually ever think of previously. And the department tree, honestly, is an amazing tool that you need to take advantage of. Okay, so remember that I told you previously in this video that you should go through and check your old products. I suggest that you go to your most popular or your most sold products and check those first. Don't go through all of your thousands of products and spend hours trying to check them. Zazzle has spent a lot of time and effort trying to make sure that all of the products that were previously made are transferred over to the right department tree. So I'm pretty sure that all of them are in the correct spot. But just to make sure, go and check, you know, your top selling or your top popular products to be sure. So to do that, this is one of my products here, a baby's first Christmas card. And you just scroll down at the bottom here, again, it says about this design, and you say edit design information. And this pop-up will come up here. And as you can see, it says baby's first Christmas holiday photo card. And because I wrote that in the title, it comes up underneath invitations and stationery, greeting cards, and it goes to holiday, seasonal, and Christmas. Because I had Christmas in there. If, for example, I had Halloween, or if I had something else, then it would come up with a different type of holiday. But I want to show you how you can change that if something happens that maybe it's not in the right one. So you just say change. And because it's an invitation, I have two options here. You can see that I could actually make it more general. If it's just a holiday card and it doesn't have to do with Christmas, then I can put it underneath holiday and seasonal. But because it's actually a Christmas card, I've chosen to put it underneath Christmas. But see, when I edit the title here and I take away Christmas, for example, then it doesn't actually, you know, the departments actually change because of my title. And this is what I explained in the first video, that your title is very important with with the keywords that you put in, because then the algorithm on the department tree figures out what type of card or invitation or even product in general it is based on the title. So because previously I had Christmas in it, it popped up with the next level down to be a Christmas card. But because I took out Christmas, now it's just considered a holiday card. Zazzle's algorithm for the department tree just recognizes that it's supposed to be underneath holidays. So that's what I wanted to say. In terms of changing your product name, you want to make sure that it's really specific. And remember that I told you that it's very important in the previous tutorial to pick the right paper product. You want to make sure that you're designing on the right type of product. And what I mean by that, especially with the paper types, is that, for example, holiday cards have their own specific holiday card product. So if you're going to create a Christmas card or a holiday card or anything to do with holidays, you would pick the holiday card. You wouldn't pick the flat invitation card, because that also factors into the department tree, because then as soon as you've picked that product, Zazzle's algorithm for the department tree recognizes that it's supposed to be at one point underneath the holiday card section because it's a holiday card. So if you were to create a birth announcement invitation, then you wouldn't put it on a holiday card, you would put it on the invitation card. And in the previous tutorial and the blog article, I put the link down to the Zazzle blog, which describes the paper breakout, which gives you all of the list of the new paper types and also the description of what type of designs should be put on each type of paper product. So if you're unfamiliar with that, please check out the previous blog, which we will link in this blog post and also in the description of this video, where you can check out all of those paper types, because it's very important to make sure that you're picking the right product for the design use. I know that I gave the example for the Save the Date coaster. That's different because it's a different type of product. It's not a paper product. Paper products on Zazzle have now been very defined for their design use, for table cards, for place cards, for information cards, for announcements and invitations, for holiday cards. There's a whole list of many more items that they've created for new designs, which are supposed to be used specifically for that design use. And that works in through the Zazzle algorithm as well. So for example, I can't now make a 50th and fabulous birthday party invitation on a holiday card, because that just doesn't make sense. I would have to make it on the invitation card. So hopefully that makes sense to you, and hopefully you understand now a little bit more about in the back end how you can use the department tree to get some inspiration, to understand more about the different levels that each department has and how far down you can go. And obviously, this will help you create some new ideas for new designs that you can start creating. As well, I've shown you how to go and edit your product and edit the title of the product, which will also automatically generate a new department for you. If there was something else that you can add into your title that you think might be more descriptive or might help influence the department, go and do that as well. For example, if you just had a birthday card and it just said modern birthday card, but really it's a 50th birthday card, go and put in the word 50th, because that means that the department tree will generate that level of the department, because 50th birthday invitations actually do have a section. And so make sure that all of your titles are very clear and concise, that they have the right keywords in them. Then I've shown you how to go and you edit them. I've also shown you how to suggest to Zazzle if there isn't a department that you think your product should be under. So thank you so much for joining me on this tutorial. Hopefully you learned a little bit more and got some more insights on the department tree and how it affects you as a designer and how you can use it to your advantage in terms of your research and your inspiration to make new products on Zazzle. Once again, I'm Jennifer Clarke, and I work with my mom, Elke Clarke, mentoring and coaching creative entrepreneurs on how to make money online. Please comment on this video if you have any questions, or if you want to say anything, comment below and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Bye.